How's it going, everybody? Happy 2026. Wow, that's a new number. Me and my friends, we used to say the big 25, like an acknowledgement of 2025 as a year. But I just feel like it doesn't have the same kind of vibe for 2026, You can't, the big 26 just doesn't function as a word. So I don't know what it's not even the internet, it's just people. What people are going to agree upon as the new name for this year, but we'll have to see. I wanted to talk today about 2025 specifically, and also 2026. As you know, I feel like it's a little overdone. First off, I was looking at my YouTube feed, and the first few days, constantly plagued, even on my main account, with just like people like just yapping about looking back on 2025 and their goals for 2026 or predictions, like what's going to happen. I think that is kind of interesting, but at the same time, I do think that it does lose its charm because everyone's doing it. And the fact is that most people don't really care about your individual opinion about, okay, well, I think that this is going to happen. I actually think the sun is going to explode tomorrow. So, yeah, there you go. No, I think there's a little bit more to be desired with content of that nature. To be fair, I didn't really watch those videos, but just from a surface level, they're unappealing. 2025 was a really interesting year for me as a creator and as a person. I didn't really make a lot of content, but at the same time, I did grow a lot as a content creator, if that makes any sense. So I only really made 2 videos, and one of them I was near finishing in like December and was really hoping to get it out sooner, but I'm kind of glad I didn't. I encountered a problem while I was like test rendering it that completely fucked over the computer, like, because it's Adobe, right? So it screwed it like froze my computer. I came back and all the files were messed up and some of the project was corrupted. But I still had a test export, so I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna post this. So I don't even acknowledge it as a video. On my channel, I literally don't even put it as like I have a folder called like good videos, and it's not even in there because I don't think it's a good video. It's a meta commentary, which I've mentioned before. I don't need to talk that much about this one infamous video. I'm obviously not naming it, but if you figure it out, you figure it out. I've been definitely trying to keep my channel, or at least this channel, I'll say, a secret from my friends. And one person does know about it, but he's pretty chill. It's actually interesting because I do kind of see myself in him. He's in the early stages of kind of reaching that spotlight creator level. And so it'll be interesting to see where he goes. But no, yeah, apart from that, I only really released one video, which was like May-ish. And that was kind of it for me. And that's not a great achievement. But at the same time, I was a college student. I was taking a lot of really difficult classes, like organic chemistry, which never, ever, ever show me a hexagon, dude. I cannot handle the trauma from that. It's actually a neat coast. I want to see what's over here. I'm trying to find a new spot to build a base because that wasn't really a good place. I want something closer to the water. Actually, is this okay, this is the west. But yeah, no, I just don't. I had a really difficult time in 2025 because I was also trying to reinvent myself as a person, which I think is partially healthy. And that also brings me to my next point, which is I really, really think that New Year's resolutions are just really dumb. You don't need to wait until a number or a year rolls over for you to be able to start changing yourself. And the fact that a lot of people do and then don't really commit to it is a bit foolish. You can learn from your mistakes and act upon them immediately. And yeah, it is nice to look back after an entire year and then realize, oh my God, it's been that long since this thing or whatever. And yeah, that's kind of fun. I get the appeal of that, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I don't think we should look too much in the past apart from lessons. Like, yeah, it's nice to reminisce. I say playing a nostalgic video game in an old version. But yeah. I just want to make a quick little thing, because I don't want to keep this too long. It's already been like 5 minutes, on how you fail 2026. And it's super, super simple. First of all, you set high expectations. You're gonna say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this and this and this. Oh, I'm gonna shed 40 pounds of weight. I'm gonna get a six-figure paying job and a Nobel Prize to come with that." And it's like, okay, buddy, you need to be realistic. And at the same time, I think that a lot of people don't really set benchmarks. They just say, "This year I want to do this," and then they either do it or they don't. And then they look back at the year and they say, "Well, I didn't actually do that, so I kind of failed." That's not exactly how you should approach the year. You should look at it in a more vague and general sense. That way you feel more accomplished, but also it gives you wiggle room. Instead of saying, "I'm going to make 30 new friends and get a new place to live," you should say, "I'm going to be more social." That way you can kind of modify what the definition of being social is as time passes. Time is relative, or so that Einstein fella said. But I think that a lot of people don't really treat it as such. They kind of set a permanent benchmark and then they look back at it and say, "Wow, what was past me thinking?" Well, past me didn't have the context or nuance or even the foresight that modern you has. And yet you can look back and realize that, well, modern you has probably still changed a lot, hopefully for the better. I really like this spot. I think this is probably where I'm going to settle down. So, this is how you fail 2026. You set high bars for yourself. You then refuse to branch out of those bars. And not just that, you don't shut up about it. New Year's resolutions are really stupid. You have to wait an entire year to change it. It's the reason why something like 5-year plans actually work kind of well for a country, because that versus making a benchmark over, let's say, 20 years is kind of dumb because it's less dynamic. Me and my friends recently started a accountability group because, well, we were all kind of cooked mentally and we're not the most productive people in the world. And we set goals for ourselves. One of those goals was, okay, well, where do I want to be in a year? People were saying how many videos they were going to post, how many subscribers they were going to reach, the usual stuff. But interestingly enough, when they were asked what they want to reach in the next month or even in 3 months, the answers they give, I feel, were a lot more insightful as a benchmark. Instead of saying, "I want to post 4 videos this year," they said, "I want to finish scripting this specific video and then start recording the footage for it." That's great, because now you can look at it and say, well, all right, to get this done, I know exactly what I need to do. I need to open my Google Docie and I need to start writing. That is how you should approach any sort of benchmark or goal in life. You shouldn't say, "I'm going to lose weight." You're going to say, "I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week for an hour." And even if it's a shitty gym like Planet Fitness, you do it. You try to stick to it consistently and you try to see what happens. And I will tell you this, there will come times where you will inevitably fail. It's going to happen. Maybe it's a family emergency or, a friend wanted to go do something else, and that's completely fine. You shouldn't stress out over single failures, but you should look at those events and decide, was it something that was controllable? Was it out of my hands and the gym was closed because it was a holiday for like an entire week? Or was it I was just lazy? If it's the second and it's something you can actually control, you then have to look at it and say, okay, well, how do I stop that from happening again? How do I stop being lazy? Wow, isn't that a wonderful question that every single person has asked themselves and nobody has the answer to? That's because no one can answer it for you. Just how no one can tell you what your New Year's resolution should be. If you want to know how to stop being lazy, maybe you should just start trying something new. I think I'm going to keep it there. I didn't want to drag this on for too long, partially because the lesson was half an hour, and that's not great for engagement because unfortunately, I do still have to kind of care about the algorithm. I'm going to try to be much more genuine, and I'm going to be posting these things once a week, sometimes more often, and also that definition of what a week is does vary. It just means that within that week, something will be released, not every Saturday, every Sunday or something. It can come sooner, sometimes later. And if it does well enough, I just might post a little more often. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful 2026, no matter when you're watching this. Wow, that rendering was really, really bad. I'll catch you guys in the next one.